It's not just the coursework. It's like coursework plus clubs plus recruiting.
If you're young enough, like let's say if you have like 2 or 3 year work experience, then 2-year MBA will also benefit you.
How did you start your unstructured recruiting journey?
Another advice I'm usually giving to students is that.
So, welcome, guys. Welcome to another episode of Business Casuals. Today, I have with myself Sungsoo, my very good friend from Masters in Finance. We were in the same class together. Different streams, I think.
Yeah, different stream.
Stream B.
Right.
Stream B, I was stream A. We studied together. We were in LBS in the same course at the same time. I thought it would be good to have Sungsoo on the channel and share some of his experience with us about like making the move from Korea to London and then like trying to go through the LBS journey and then finding a job over here. So Sungsoo, floor is yours. Would you like to maybe introduce yourself first and then just like give us an idea where you come from, what were you doing before LBS, and yeah, floor is yours.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah.
So my name is Sungsoo. I'm from South Korea. So came to London to pursue my master's in finance. So in 2022, so graduated in 2023. Now I'm working for South Korean sovereign wealth fund, which we manage about $200 billion in dollar term. And I'm part of the infrastructure investment group, which also manages roughly around 15 billion. And I'm looking after European infrastructure assets alongside with the fund investments into a couple of infra funds.
Nice. Very interesting. So, and that's what you're doing right now. But before LBS, what were you doing before LBS?
Yeah. So before LBS, I worked. I had roughly 8 years of career work experience. So I started initially at Goldman in their Hong Kong office, but I was sitting back then in back office.
Okay.
And then I relocated back to my home country to South Korea, and I worked at insurance company doing similar infrastructure investments. So 5 years there, 3 years at Goldman, so which takes up to 8 years.
Nice.
And then I decided to come to London for master's in finance.
Nice. So you before LBS, you were already in like a sort of a investments kind of a role, right?
Yeah, right.
Focused on Korean markets or Asian markets, though.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And what motivated you to apply? So did you want to make the move to UK or Europe in general, or just like did you want to switch out from investments into something else?
That's a good question. I think the strongest motivation comes from a career transition.
Yeah.
So like I mentioned, most of my career is sitting in as an LP investor. So you participate as a limited partner for infra funds. So naturally, you're taking a passive investment approach. And then because we're interacting with a lot of infra funds like Brookfield, KKR, Carlyle, those guys. And I really wanted to understand what actually the investment teams at the funds are doing. So I decided to take the risk of getting into the business school to pursue a career transition, basically into private equity or investment banking, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that kind of worked out for you, right? After business school. Yeah.
Yes, technically, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Nice. So, you said you had around 8 years of work experience before business school. Was that like, I don't think that's the average. So the average is around 5 to 6 years. So
Right.
was that a consideration for you at all? That like maybe you were coming in with a little more experience. I think it's a great thing to have more experience, but did you think of that as a consideration that maybe that's going to help you in some way, or is that going to put you at a disadvantage in some way? What do you think of it?
That's a really good point. I mean, there are really pros and cons. So pros, as you mentioned, because I have 80 years of work experience compared to my cohorts, whose average work experience around 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
So naturally, I did have more experience in investments, and so that really helped you to build network, and also which funds you try to target into. But cons, because if you're targeting essentially like associate levels, um, they expect you to have 3 or 4 years maximum. So if they if they recognize you, through your CV that you have 8 or 9 years experience, then they will hesitate, honestly, because they know you need to be placed as an associate. So that is a cons. But I think in general, London, like if you have a motivation, I mean, ultimately that wouldn't matter too much, but that's something that you should have in your mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And did you consider the MBA at all? Because that's a very nice and
Mm.
popular course as well at LBS, equally good as our course. Did you ever consider that maybe you wanted to do the MBA instead of MIF?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, I've always wanted to pursue my MBA or master for career transition,
Okay.
basically. But it's like because of the COVID period, so that has been delayed a bit more, pushed for about 2 years.
Okay.
And then originally I pursued MBA programs in the US and the Europe. So obviously I considered 2 year MBA at LBS as well. But the one of the reasons why I decided to pursue masters in finance, which is in 1 year, which is 1 year shorter than MBA, 2 year MBA,
Yeah.
is that I personally thought the results out of pursuing your MBA or masters in finance could be roughly the same.
Yeah.
Because and also I really considered about the tuitions and the times that I'm spending for the school. Because if you know that you're gonna get the same results or you're taking the same risks getting in the recruiting processes, then why not just spending a year, right?
Yeah. Spend 1 year, half the time, half the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, I usually take this advice to the other colleagues or students that if you're young enough, like let's say if you have like 2 or 3 year work experience, then 2 year MBA will also benefit you. But like if you're in the same shoes as I am, building like 8 or 9 year work experience, I would say like 1 year master's in finance should be a very good approach.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very it's compressed, quite punchy, and then you kind of get the similar results at the end.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice. When you said you looked at other schools, American schools or European schools, what kind of schools were in consideration, and how did you basically end up deciding no, not the other schools, but like I want to go for LBS?
So I was in finance industry, so my target was pretty obvious, like I mentioned. So I wanted to go private equity or investment banking, basically. And then that led me to apply for finance-oriented business schools, which are, so I applied in NYU, Wharton, Cornell, INSEAD, and LBS.
Okay.
So basically all the finance schools.
Yeah.
But before applying for round 2 or 3 for each school, I was noted that LBS has a master's in finance program.
Right.
Then I also made an application, but I was able to get a much earlier offer from LBS Master's in Finance. But later then I received a couple of offers from the schools, but essentially I decided to go for MIF.
Nice. Okay. So it was maybe a MIF versus MBA kind of a consideration that you made, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I always wanted to, like, I kind of thought similar to you. I want to get similar results in half the time, half the cost. I was also locally present in London, so why not just like go to LBS, right? So, very interesting.
Another point, maybe another advice I'm usually giving to students is that if you're pursuing your career transition into multiple sectors, like you also want to take the risk of going to banking or management consulting, then MBA will benefit you more. But if you're really dedicated to finance, I think masters in finance will also very good option.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I think that's how the school publicizes the course as well. If you're very sure that you want to be in finance, and if you want to maybe deviate from one one kind of vertical in finance to another, then masters in finance is great. But if you want to like maybe make them shift from like finance to management consulting or tech or like product management, then maybe MBA kind of opens more doors for you.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think in both of our case, we were kind of coming from finance, wanted to go to finance. So MIF kind of made a lot of sense. In terms of the application process for LBS specifically, can you give us some color on how did you approach it? Did you do anything different when you applied for LBS when compared to like your applications for other US schools or like INSEAD? Did you have to do anything separately for LBS or what are your thoughts?
Honestly, I in my essays, like application essays, the key punchlines are actually roughly the same, similar, but I tried to put more emphasis for my MIF application, stating that I'm more finance guy, and the next goal is definitely finance. So I think that also worked out for MIF application.
Right. Yeah, and the school likes to, I think, hear that. I hope they do. Like, if you go to them and say, I want to do management consulting, and you apply, you write that in your MIF application, I don't think that's going to fly very well.
Exactly. Automatic fail then.
Automatic fail. They won't even say, okay, maybe come and look at the MBA. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
They'll tell you you're in the wrong address.
Yeah, wrong address. Exactly. Yeah. Um, uh, when you got the offer, so what round did you apply? Do you remember?
So I made an application for round 2, I think.
Round 2. Okay,
so I received an offer before Christmas.
Before Christmas.
Yeah, I think it was early December or mid December.
Right.
I think.
So you got an offer. Let's say you got the offer in December. The course starts in August. You have like that good 7-8 months of period when you know that you're going to business school and you kind of still have a job. So how did you plan your time? Because you were moving countries, you were also moving with your wife. So that's another kind of added layer of you to think. So how did you approach that? So
Because so I think so I was pretty busy during that period. Firstly, you prepare you're basically living in London. So you spend time like looking for flats and etc. Secondly, preparing for your recruiting. So because like I mentioned, because I was an LP, so I did already have many contacts at like KKR, Brookfield, or sell-side bankers. So I tried to be more proactive. Hey guys, I want to set up a meeting with you. I'm flying out to London. Can we meet up?
Yeah.
Basically, to build the foundations of your recruiting process. And I think that was also very helpful.
Right. So you started doing some of those coffee chats that we are supposed to do when we start, like even much before you started LBS.
Yeah.
Nice. That's interesting. Did you do anything at the personal level? Like this is very professional. So at a personal level, did you do anything? Like, did you make a list of things that you were wanted to do in London when you came here?
So honestly, I didn't have like much expectations toward living in London itself. So I was very excited to move to London, but I mean I didn't have like a fantasy over toward it. But I've always wanted to travel to different European countries during the school time.
Did you get a chance to visit some European countries when you were at school?
Yeah, so I mean, one of the nice things here at LBS, you get to meet a lot of different friends.
Yeah.
And then obviously, because we're based in London, it's so easy to fly out to France, Italy, or Edinburgh. It's so easy.
Yeah.
So me and my couple of friends in the first semester made a trip out to France, southern part of France, and also Florence in Italy.
Nice.
Very good memories.
Very good memories, right? Yeah. And yeah, I think that's such a big part of LBS experience, right? Like meeting people from different cultures and then just taking some of these trips, becomes core memories of your London life. Yeah. I think one thing maybe we can highlight over here is always be on the lookout for those Ryanair sales and like,
Oh,
yeah, right. Like whenever a sale comes, like sometimes you get flights for 10 pounds or something, right?
right.
Right.
Exactly.
10 pounds return
That's the
trip.
only flight tickets you can utilizing when you're in school.
When you're in school, because
Yeah.
those flights, I think all the cheap flights, they are at such weird times, like
Right.
either 6 a.m. or like 12 o'clock in the night, right?
Right.
But when you're at school, like you can still do it. Like you can
Exactly.
plan your classes
Yeah.
around it.
Now I'm
Right?
paying like for 150, but back then like I was only able to pay like 15, 20.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, that's I think the best part of like flying around during when you're in
Exactly.
school.
Yeah.
Um, when you were starting the course, so in August, so when you came to London, did you have any expectations from the school? You said that you wanted to make a move to banking and private equity, so that's kind of sets your ambition, right? But then, did you also expect something from the school that, hey, maybe I'll attend like some of the electives? Were you looking forward to attending some of the electives at school and maybe learning X, Y, Z kind of things? So did you have any expectations like that
For courses.
for courses? Let's say, yeah.
Yeah. So for the courses, obviously, I mean, given that LBS is known as a finance school, I wanted to get myself sort of regaining or building more knowledge on the finance. So there, looking back, there were really good courses. So in the first semester, it's known as a core. So we do have like accounting, investments, corporate finance, and etc. So accounting is very like it is basic, but
Yeah.
still like when you're asked like technical questions, then it's also a good opportunity to like sort of recatch your knowledge and then more solidify. Like, and I personally wanted to spend more time on corporate finance
Okay.
because I knew that I wanted to get into sales side, banking, and private equity. So it is a natural step to get yourself prepared for upcoming technical rounds. So I think that was I had a good expectation toward that courses, and that managed my expectations quite well. I would say.
Nice.
Yeah.
And apart from core courses, did you plan any electives
Yeah,
that
for
you wanted to take?
electives, so I did a concentration in corporate finance.
Yeah.
So in the second or third semesters, you can choose which electives you're gonna take. So I think so. Having looked at the list, I remember one of the courses taught by Julian Frank. He taught a very great lecture of M&A. And that M&A courses was very specific. They even teach you like all different M&A related jurisdictions or laws.
Okay.
Or let's say to take private deals in France, what are the squeeze out threshold? This kind of stuff, very practical. And that really like, how do you say, they give you a lot of like very practical knowledge. So at LBS, I think the list of electives are so widespread, and it's like very deep on the other hand too.
Yeah.
So
Do you have any memories from the bidding process?
bidding, bidding process. Yeah,
Bidding process for
yeah.
the good electives.
Right. You need to be quick enough to get your spot.
What was your strategy
I
for
mean,
bidding?
so for my top three courses, I try to be just quick.
Yeah.
Like as soon as the 12 p.m. hits, then I just like just continuously click it. But other courses, you need to like wait and see. Like maybe you can trade your electives through your classmate and so on.
Did you do any fancy trades where you traded one course for three courses, maybe?
No,
One
I
course for two, squeeze people out? No.
no, I didn't. I mean, I think I was pretty lucky enough to get like all the electives that I liked.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to go for it.
No, you're lucky. You're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did some of that. um, what kind of clubs did you join at LBS? What was your club's kind of journey? I always talk on this channel a lot about clubs.
Yeah.
I personally feel like clubs is such a big part of LBS. It's not just the coursework. It's like coursework plus clubs plus recruiting plus like there's a lot of like social aspects of it. So on the club side of it, what all clubs did you join? How did you get the best out of the clubs that exist at LBS?
So I joined infrastructure club because I knew that I'm gonna target infrastructure investment world basically. Even if I was sales side, I would have placed myself in TMT or like energy side. So I knew even before going to school, I knew that I want to be active in the infrastructure club. So it was very good, like for two reasons. First, you can naturally build your network with the course who have the same interest in it. So naturally, you can exchange your knowledge toward recruiting strategies and how we're going to approach them. Maybe you can share your context for network, like coffee chats even. Um, Second is you can expect that very quality events. So through that events, you can meet up with our school alumni who are in the fields already. And thirdly, they do have a very special the the track event. I think that's one of the major events which the clubs are running. So in intra club, they hold the infrastructure track in London. So for the 2 days, so all the EXCO members were kind enough to organize like 10 different meetings or information sessions with different funds and sell side banking firms. And through that, you can even like, personally, I was able to get 2 interviews out of that track.
Oh, okay. So very
So,
productive then. Like
very
yeah,
productive.
very very serious then about recruiting, and like it's not just like you going and meeting them and like learning about the company. It's also trying to get some job interviews out of it.
Exactly. So many students maybe can underestimate the values of track.
Yeah.
So some people might consider this just an informational sessions. But if you're like strongly motivated enough, like approaching them, they knew that because if let's say like I'm currently working now, if someone approaches me, I knew that they're gonna get they need a job, right?
Yes.
They need an internship opportunity. It's obvious. So when you have a coffee chat or even talk to them in an information session, they are basically screening you whether you're a potential candidates or not.
Yeah. Okay.
So just being proactive also very very beneficial.
Did you have to prep a little bit for these treks? Because as you said, these are not just info sessions. They are more of like maybe like screening, ways of screening for the company to just screen candidates. Did you do anything like? Did you go through like deals of all these 10 funds before you went there, or did you read up on market color, or any specific preparations that you did before attending the trek?
Definitely. So I mean, you know which farms you're gonna meet. Let's say I met House during the trek, and you go to their website, which portfolio that they have, and how many like just characteristics of their assets, and then you can also just find out their like profiles at LinkedIn, like the attendees basically of that information session, and that way you can sort of market yourself. Hey, I already did my homework.
Yes.
I think that's what I did. I think, and
yeah, and maybe you can talk to people like if someone's worked in like an XYZ kind of space, you can maybe talk about, and if you worked in that same space for even like a month, then maybe you can talk about that experience to the person that you're talking to. Right? Like that kind of helps.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nice, interesting. Did you attend tattoo?
Tattoo.
You did?
I didn't.
You didn't attend tattoo.
So my
man, I want to know reasons why. This is going to be very important for this.
I know you're the organizer of the events, but on that day I was going to travel with my wife.
Okay.
So I couldn't make it.
You got a very good excuse. Any other thing that you said, I wouldn't have accepted.
I'm pretty
it.
sure like I ship it the first one and the first and last one who are skipping that event.
Man, I thought I saw you at tattoo. Okay. Any other social events that remind you that you're reminded of at LBS, which you're like, this was great? Like any cultural treks, maybe, or there were a lot of like maybe wine tasting events that happened. Anything on those lines that you remember which was very good?
I think in my memories, the school hosts you. I think in the first month of the semester, they do hold this barbecue at
Yes,
our lawn. The I think that's because that is held in August. I mean, you have a nice weather, you have a
proper
barbecue
summers.
for summer. I do. That was really good memories. And another memory I can have is so whenever we have midterms or finals, so we always go to the pub
Yeah,
and
all stops.
then also right after exams. That's such a good memories.
Yeah. I think all everyone from MIF was like after the exam, everyone from MIF is in all sops or in
Also, yeah,
volunteer, right? Like,
exactly.
best places in Baker Street.
Exactly, indeed.
Yeah. Um, how was because you were making this transition from being an LP to being like coming to private equity or sell side banking? How was recruiting like for you? So you did the trek. Did you also apply for some of like? Did you also do some coffee chats locally in London with like bankers from Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs? Basically the banks that have like associate programs to hire
Yeah.
in Europe. How was your journey on that side, basically?
Oh, that process was one of the most difficult processes.
Yeah.
So I mean, because I didn't have much like you need to first I think what my approach was to build a list of contacts, like potential contacts. So you spend a lot of like time at like in LinkedIn. So trying to like get all different names for ABC banks, ABC funds, and then you just send them a cold email
Right.
to LinkedIn message or even try to get their corporate email addresses and then send a cold emails.
Did you have a star formula for guessing anyone's corporate email
Oh,
address?
definitely, yeah. It's like if someone is like my name, like Sungsoo Kim, right? It's obvious like you can try Sungsoo.Kim KIC, or you can try S Kim. Different reasons, like different methods, but it'll
make,
work out. Yeah.
make sure you send all those emails with people in BCC, right?
Exactly.
I know I've seen some people. Maybe I've done this myself as well. Instead of BCC, I wrote 4 email addresses for the same guy, different kind of
Uh,
permutation combinations in two. So
uh,
one got delivered, three didn't. But the person obviously seen that I'm trying different email IDs. So,
right,
yeah,
right. So much effort
so
in
much effort, right? Did you apply for these structured recruiting programs with GSMS?
definitely, yeah. So yeah, spent a lot of time like preparing for structured IBD summer associate programs. So definitely tried out GS, Credit Suisse,
Yeah,
Morgan Stanley,
yeah,
and Citi.
yeah.
Yeah, spent a lot of try yeah on preparing for their structured programs.
What are your thoughts on because you went to something that was maybe not so structured, like not so structured recruiting wise? Um, what are your thoughts on how to deal with structured versus unstructured recruiting? Why I ask this is because like I didn't per se recruit for IBD, but my understanding is we apply in December, interviews happen in January, and then maybe you get a call for internship soon after. Um, if you've not gone through if you've not gotten through with an offer after all of this in February, then then you kind of have to start from scratch on the unstructured route.
Yeah.
After the structured cycle closes, how did you start your unstructured recruiting journey basically in February, let's say, or were you doing that unstructured recruiting kind of practice right from August?
Good question. I think I I took two different approaches. So even at LBS, right after sales side structure programs, starting from January, I think the school still does have a handful number of structured programs for private equity funds. Take an example of Actis. They opened their summer social programs in January. You still have the shot. So
Yeah.
being proactive in looking at the school job recruiting, the bulletin boards, and etc. there are numerous opportunities you can still target, but you can really rely yourself onto that. So secondly, you need to be more proactive or creative in just getting yourself more exposed to the people in the industry. So let's say like let's say just let's just come up with a fun name A, right?
Yeah.
Then you just do your own research in fund A, and then you can see whose investment teams are in. So you can get their contact, you can get their names, and then you can just Google their names in LinkedIn and try to approach through cold email or cold message.
How was your experience? Like, did people reply when you?
I would say like if you shot 100 cold emails, maybe 2 or 3 guys will get back to you.
Okay.
But I want to emphasize still 2 or 3% hit rate. It's still good. I mean, there's still like nice people who are responding back to your emails.
Yeah. Yeah.
And oftentimes it can be beneficial or not beneficial.
Right.
But I mean, unstructured programs are tricky, but I think that's the only shot you can do. So
Yeah.
But for my case, it worked out through unstructured.
Did you use there are these student led like career counseling sessions? I can't remember the exact word. Did you make use of any of that, or we get like those career coaches, right? So
yeah, career coaches
from the career center. So did that help you at all in all of this?
I have a pessimistic view on it.
Okay.
I mean, so there are career coaches, and there are like 5 or 6 guys who are available for just getting the career coaching sessions. But I don't think they are too beneficial because their advice is too generic, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally did have 2 or 3 sessions with them just to practice my English. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's good use of the session, anyways. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Because you paid your tuition for them. So
Yeah.
you need to use for somehow.
Okay. So, but no, like no direct advice, let's say, for your particular case.
No.
No. Okay. Anything else that you can think of that you did? So you talked about you reached out through LinkedIn, cold emails. A hit rate of 2-3% is quite good when you're sending out, let's say, 100 emails or 100 messages. Anything else? You also mentioned about treks. So 4 things. I think that's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe even if there's nothing else, that's fine, right? Yeah.
Maybe I could talk about the other thing. So I think one of the things that really helped me to get an internship or getting a full time in London was this student led or friends led valuation or financial modeling session. So in our cohort, Unche, myself, and 2 other Korean MBA guys will get together. So we spend 3 hours per week to do financial modeling test.
Okay.
So we pick up a model test and then spend 3 hours building the model and then spend another hour compared to each other. And that I think that was the secret sauce for even for all of us.
Okay.
Because if you're into infrastructure investment world, it is very modeling intense. Like LBO, I think LBO still takes a lot of time, but infra models is too complicated.
Yeah.
So, and oftentimes, if you have a technical rounds, there's follow up model sessions. So you need to be very familiar building models within 2 hours.
In 2 hours, 2-3 hours.
2-3 hours. So that practice really helped us to get through that model test.
Talk to me more about these modeling tests. So, like my understanding is, you let's say land a coffee chat with someone in a private equity company A. You impress them in those 30-40 minutes that you've got, or maybe 15 minutes that you've got with them. They send you a modeling test, or they ask you to come to the office, and you have 3 hours to make the model. Let's say they like the model and they call you to the office, and now you're meeting some senior people in the office, let's say partners or whoever. Um, what's your strategy when you're talking to like what's your strategy after this modeling test? Like, do you just talk about technicals, or do you also try to focus on, yes, they're like the technicals make sense, like okay, P is low or EPS is high, EBITDA we think it's going to be nice, projections wise, or do you also talk about some qualitative aspects, right? Like if we invest XYZ amount of money and get like X% of ownership in the company, then we can turn around the company by doing ABC. Like, do you also focus on those kind of things?
That's a good question. I think so for my cases, so after financial modeling, you knew that your your model is okay.
Yeah.
So that's why you're invited to the next round. So you need to walk through your how you build the models, etc. The next thing you should be delivering is the more qualitative aspects. So I think try my best, like advertising myself that do have more commercial aspects. So let's talk about the revenues here. So I built a 30-year revenue models here. Then I do set up a, let's say, 20-year PPA contract, and you can just tell them, hey, but there are still three different methods you can play with. Maybe you can terminate this PPA and get onto the different base load, pay as produced. Just just be exaggerate what you have. Like in that way, you can impress your interviewers. Hey, these guys actually have pretty good experiences and do have a commercial aspect. Maybe in that way you can impress them.
Yeah.
But also, I tried also pointing out the risks. You always talk about, hey, this is the MOIC you can expect it. This is our EPS, maybe public words, EPS, PER. But you can just pointing out the risks, although they haven't asked you.
Yes,
It's
yes.
okay, just like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm a smart man.
Yeah,
so-
you're also thinking about downside protection, right?
Yeah.
Like not just saying I have a lot of money, I'm going to invest. Like you're also
Yeah.
thinking if something went wrong, what could go wrong, and like even though they've not asked you, maybe
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah, that's very smart. Yeah, I personally I never had to go through these things, but it's very interesting for me to understand like how all of this recruiting works basically.
Yeah.
I think we're coming towards the end of our podcast. You graduated from LBS. You got the job that you wanted in a very mega kind of fund, which you kind of explained to us in the beginning. How are you liking it? It's been a year and a half now, almost, since we've graduated.
Yeah.
How is life right now?
It's so often people say, ask me like, hey, how's your life?
Yeah.
Are you happy with it?
Yeah.
Given that it's been a year and a half now. But I would say like I put it this way, I have zero complaints, which means I'm like 100% satisfied with the life that I'm having now. I'm living with my wife in London, which we dreamed of, and I'm career transitions was successful, and I'm proud of my career, proud of my firm. So in conclusion, I'm so far very satisfied.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, what's in the cards for you next? Become senior in the firm? Are you at a personal level? Are you looking to do something new? Maybe another masters at some point? Like,
Another,
no,
another master.
not going through the trauma again.
No. I guess I don't know, cause I see myself midterm living in London,
Right.
same company. I really like my job, my firm. So I imagine myself taking a senior role. I hope I can be a senior role here
Yeah.
at KIC. Build more network, build more deal track records.
Yeah.
But maybe in the long term, I don't know. Like maybe I can move to another country. Maybe can go back to my home country or even Hong Kong, Singapore, back to Asia.
Come to Singapore.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Stay near me.
Yeah.
Nice, interesting. No, thanks, man. Thanks a lot for taking the time. I know you had a very busy week, so taking the time on Friday out of that week is very appreciated. Thanks for doing this. thanks everybody. If you've watched till here, thanks for staying with us. I hope it helped you understand some perspectives from Sungsoo. Thanks, and stay tuned for the next episode of Business Casuals. Bye bye.